And we are coming to you from the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race Village, the 80th edition of the race. And the good news is that the three front runners, Master Lock Comanche, Law Connect and SHK Scallywag, are pretty well round Tasman Island now. They're heading for home, almost into Storm Bay, and it's Master Lock Comanche who's leading the way, and alongside me, Peter Shipway, things are really heating up.
They certainly are, Gordon. She's round Tasman, 35 miles to go to the finish. We're just looking at Law Connect coming down the coast a little bit earlier. These great shots from the chopper. There's the Hippolyte Rocks ahead of her, but Master Lock Comanche in the last 6 hours has certainly put a dominance on this race. She's put the foot down. They were alongside each other earlier this morning, but now she's about 6 miles ahead of Law Connect.
Now those shots were coming from the Rolex chopper, and Law Connect, we can actually bring you some live shots now of Law Connect, and I think she's just about round Tasman Island.
Yeah, she would be by now. Yeah.
Just about round Tasman Island on board Law Connect. So it's been a terrific effort by these three 100-footers. And this is live now on Law Connect. They're around Tasman Island, and we'll be looking very closely at the breeze and the conditions in Storm Bay, and then coming up to the Derwent as the evening approaches.
Well, at the present, Tasman Island's got north-northeast at 12 knots. It's light in the river, but the breeze at the moment is holding in the bay, but as we know, it certainly can play some tricks. Maria Island further up the coast, for the boats that are following on, got northerly at 11 knots, but further north, St Helens has only got a northerly of 9 knots. But here we are on Law Connect, making good progress, starboard jibe, bowling along, double headsail rig, and they've had plenty of problems in this whole race. Law Connect.
Take us through those problems they've had on Law Connect since we started.
Well, firstly, they lost their instrumentation, which helps guide the helmsman and the trimmers of what to do, the speed of the boat, the wind speed, the wind direction. Then they had problems with their main sheet. They broke their main sheet, which is highly unusual, and that would be a hard job to put that back together because the boom would be flopping around. They would have to lower the mainsail, but when they lowered the mainsail to reef it, then unreef it, this is what happened. Look at that hole in that mainsail. This was earlier today. They're trying to put it together with sticky back, which is the yachtsman's sticky tape. You can see the big panels. It's super sticky, this stuff, and all yachts carry it for sail repair, and it looks as though it's come into vogue here. They've done a pretty good job. As we saw earlier, they had a full mainsail back up, but there's a lot of sticking to do there.
I've been looking for Ian Thorpe, our greatest Olympic performer at the 2000 Olympics. Those 3 gold medals, 4-time world sailor of the world swimmer of the year. I'd like to be world sailor of the year, but yeah, running repairs there. And this is the view from Law Connect, and that's how close they were, Peter. This is earlier this afternoon.
And there's coming back to SHK Scallywag. And, early this morning, Scallywag was in front, only by a mile or so. But as soon as the wind pressure came up, then Master Lock Comanche stamped her authority on the race. Very light air there earlier this morning up off St Helens, but making reasonable progress, as these big boats tend to do. They're very quick. As soon as the breeze gets up, you can see them scooting along. And they're inshore. There's a couple of boats inshore. There's Master Lock Comanche and Law Connect, and those shots came off Scallywag. So at that time, Scallywag could say was in front, but at the moment, she's about 7 miles astern of Master Lock Comanche. And Master Lock Comanche looking to gain her 5th ever line honours victory in this race. And at the moment, you'd have to say she's very much in the box seat.
Well, it's all down to Mother Nature, though, isn't it? Mother Nature holds the trump card, and if the breeze does die, nothing's a given at the moment. But as you say, Master Lock Comanche is the odds-on favourite.
Yeah, and Lucky still maybe within striking distance. She's but she's 10 miles astern of Master Lock Comanche. She's doing 14 knots, so if Master Lock or the leaders stop, then it's not going to take long for Lucky to catch up. And in the lighter airs, that she would be favoured. But at the moment, there's Master Lock Comanche streaming along between Tasman Island and Cape Rowell.
Yeah, well, it's a fascinating situation. What about an estimated time if this breeze holds at the moment? How many more hours to the finish?
Well, she's got 35 miles to go. Yeah, 3 hours perhaps. As I say, behind us, you can see there's breeze in the river. The flags are flying pretty prominently. So if she can get into the river and finish before dark, which she certainly should, I think, then probably about 3 hours for finishing time. And this very good crew that Matt Allen and James Moe have assembled, Ian Murray, Adam Beechel. It's a star-studded crew with Andy Green, the navigator, Graham Taylor, world echeal champion. It's a really hot outfit, and they've been there or thereabouts. They've led for, I'd say, 90% of the race or even more. So at the moment they're certainly on track.
And it's a race for everyone, though. At the moment, just running through from the original 128 starters, we've had 33 retirements, and 95 boats are still racing, and one of those is Pretty Woman. So let's see how they're faring, and we'll check out exactly where they are positioned. But let's hear now from Pretty Woman.
Good morning!
Good morning. It's the 28th of December and we've just started to cross the Bass Strait.
Yeah, feeling good. We've had an interesting last 24 hours.
We damaged the main as it was coming down, unfortunately. One of the top main cars pulled out of the sail and we lost one of the battens, so we took the view.
And we got a tear down the leach of the main.
That's it.
So what we decided to do is drop the main, and we were sailing just on jib. We had some really good boat speed and pretty good angle as well, sailing only on jib.
Right.
And then our bearing on that tack was basically straight into Eden, so we decided the best course of action was to go in there and fix it properly rather than trying to do it in the swell that we have out here at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. And we spent a couple of hours in Eden.
Yeah, we spent 4 hours in Eden, working really hard as a team to get each section of the main back in order.
And we did lots of sewing.
Lots of sewing and lots of taping.
That's right. There's a lot of jury rigging, but we ended up with a pretty good result, as you can see above us.
Mwah!
So we're looking good for a Derwent arrival. Not really sure when. But I'm sure
We'll be there a few hours later than hope, but we're going to keep itching back away at the fleet one by one. It's a long race. It's a marathon. We'll get there.
Here we go.
Woo!
And Peter, where are they positioned at the moment?
Well, Pretty Women, 25th on IRC handicap, 31st on line honours, and they retired last year, but they look as though they're probably going to finish this year in a pretty good position.
This is Opossum Bay, and these are the conditions. Sail Media, Evie Hazeldine is out there at the moment, and it's looking a little calmer out there, Peter.
Yeah,
but
a few white
how
caps,
do you read it?
Yeah, I think there's some breeze there. There's certainly enough to get the Master Lock Comanche home if she can carry this breeze into the river. There's the iron pot there, as you said, just at Opossum Bay. So she's not far off the iron pot, probably about probably less than 14 miles to go, and then 11 miles up the river.
So it looks as though that breeze is holding pretty well at the moment. And we'll have all the live action, of course, right here on CYCA TV of the finish of this 80th edition of the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race. Well, let's go work our way through some of the other boats that are competing. And Hollywood Boulevard is another interesting competitor. And Hollywood Boulevard is skippered by Mike Miller.
Hi, it's Sunday morning here on Hangar Road, Hollywood Boulevard, in the 80th Sydney Hobart race. The first couple of days of the race were pretty brutal, hard bashing up wind, but we woke this morning, or the middle of the night last night, the wind died, shifted around, and we're now sailing on a flat sea with light, calm conditions and sun shining. It's absolutely beautiful. The boat went really well though, compared to the other boats of the race. So in the hard upwind, we were actually doing really well. We chose to come quite a long way to the right to try and get into the lighter airs and less punishing sea state sooner. And I'm not sure that's quite worked out for us. A few other boats behind us have caught up a little bit. So the challenge for us now is to keep trucking southwards as fast as we can.
Yes, and the great thing, Peter, is that the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race it's a race for everyone. It's the people's race. Any gender, anyone of experience, there's a chance to aspire and to get there with proper training, even if you haven't done any sailing. But that's the beauty. Now, what about Hollywood Boulevard? Where are they positioned?
Well, she's 11th on the water. She's done very well, and she's got still 257 miles to go. She's just north of Flinders Island, doing about 9 knots, and she was second in this race in 2011 as Living Doll.
Right.
So a nice history in the race, and owned by Ray Roberts, the man that's nicknamed Hollywood, and he nicknamed named his boat Hollywood Boulevard. So he's another great character. He's not racing this year, but the boat's done very well.
Well, what about the female competitors in this year's race? We've hit record figures. There are 167 female sailors competing, as opposed to the 134 last year. There were 2 females in the second race in 1946. The first all-female crew was Vicky Willman in 1975. But this year, the 13th all-woman crew is competing. And of course, it's First Light and Elizabeth Tucker, who has sailed this boat out double-handed all the way from England.
Just past the 45-hour mark on First Light, we fixed our reefing issue. So we had our cunningham stuck in the jammer, which meant we couldn't go up or down, right? Which was a bit tricky because we were in a situation where we actually thought we needed to unreef, it was starting to get light. But then turned out we needed to reef down to 30 minutes. So luckily, we sort of rigged that up temporarily last night. Sort of 10 minutes on it today. We also have been up the rig. We got the storm vehicle, so we did and down and it was just there. So we had to go up and get that. That's why we've got some funny marks on our track because we always turn downwind to do those. We want to be quite cautious. And we've generally been in asset protection mode and people protection mode. We saw how many people were retired and we don't want to be one of them. So going a bit slower, going a bit more cautiously, but we are determined to make it down.
Well, not in Bass Strait yet. They're east of Green Cape, 417 miles to go. So still at least a couple of days away from the finishing line.
Well, one of the other very interesting boats is one of the 16 international entries is Aragon, and they have some amazing sailors on board, Peter. And Aragon, I think, has Adrian Carlin, who's been a multiple winner of the race as the navigator, and Carolyn Brower also on board. It's a very special occasion. This is very much a bucket list occasion for the skipper owner of Aragon.
To nurse the boat, I guess, the last sort of 48 hours. We tried to go offshore as much as we could, but as soon as we were dropping off waves too much, we were just seeing a little bit of wear and tear on the boat here and there, and we decided to just tack back inshore and in search of some relief from the current against the wind and a little bit relief inshore with the sea stay. And I think we managed that quite well. Happy to still be in the race. A couple of boats in our division have had to retire. When you hear that, when you're out there in the pounding waves, then it sort of was also another reason to nurse the boat and to look after each other and to look after a boat.
I never had experience like this, water waves. They were breaking in the middle of the sea. I don't know how high, but the thing were very, from all sides the big waves came in, and then the boat was like banging down the wave. So I think it's the first time in 20 years I took my seasick pills. So all good.
And how are you feeling now?
Great. This is it's the prize giving after the weather yet.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Perfect. Thanks, Frankie.
Yes, our entry from the Netherlands, Andres Verder there, the owner and the skipper. And also, Peter, he has 2 of his children on board, Nina and Lut, the son and daughter of Andres. So very much a family affair.
Well, who said the Hobart race was tough? Look at them. It was a beautiful Sunday sail. Sun was out, just drifting along. It was wonderful.
What about the previous 36 hours?
Not what people are complaining about. But they're 10th at the moment on the water, 1 ahead of Hollywood Boulevard, 240 miles still to go.
And also, of course, with Adrian Carlin on board. You sailed with her in
I
2005
Yeah.
when you got the treble on Wild Oats 11.
Yeah, well, Adrian, terrific navigator and one of the great personalities of the race. And they're east of Flinders Island, so they're having a nice, comfortable run home, that's for sure. And it's going to be nice tonight. I think the breeze should hold in the nor'east. So all the boats that are in Bass Strait starting to get that east to nor'easterly breeze now.
Well, talking of comfortable rides, Oroton Drumfire, the 78-footer, the most luxurious boat outside Maritimo 100, I'm not saying this was terribly
No,
comfortable,
no.
but they were handling it very well, Peter. I'm sure they still managed their baked dinners.
Well, they might be able to cook them. I don't know whether there's Will Vickers, the owner. I don't know whether they would have been able to eat them, but they're surrounded by a lot of boats there. There's pretty brisk conditions there, big waves, you go up and down and crashing into them. And as Chris Nicholson said, it's like jumping into a big swimming pool and doing the big belly flop. And the crew suitably attired. Oh, that's nice and comfortable down there. Get the sea boots on. It's the old ritual of get back on watch, and it's cold, it's wet, it's miserable, but at the moment they've got some relief, that's for sure.
And I think we saw, was that Jane on the helm as well? I mean, she's very much involved in the running of the boat. Jane Vickers,
Could well have been.
Will's wife. So yeah, nice work there by Oroton Drumfire. At this point, we might have a look at the situation with the retirements and run through them for you. There are still 95 boats still racing. The leaders are now certainly in Storm Bay, and Master Lock Comanche is leading the charge. But let's go through the retirements. And as I say, there have been 33, 95 still racing. That was the situation this morning. So looking right through those names in alphabetical order, we walk on the right-hand side there. Koa was also retired last year. Moving across to the next page. And there have been a few notable retirements. Certainly Maritimo Catwincher, the oldest boat in the fleet, and the 100-footer had their issues. Moneypenny from WA, the canister of their life raft inflated the life raft, and apparently it fell overboard, so they automatically had to retire. And Ocean Crusaders Jaybird as well. So that's 10 retirees, and now we move on to some of these others. Troubadour and Trouble and Strife had different issues. V5, the Kiwi boat, along with Vixen Racing. Sharon Ferris Choate, the amazing around-the-world sailor from New Zealand. Wild Thing 100, though, that was a big disappointment on the opening day for Grant Warrington. Wine Dark Sea and What's Next making up the 33 retirees. So it looks as though the boats that are still left, Peter, they're going to do their best to finish. I think we had 30 retirements last year, so 3 more in much tougher conditions. Certainly it was a downwind race for the leaders last year, but certainly this year a lot different in the complexity of the race.
Yeah, the little boats got clobbered last year. The big boats got away, Law Connect and Celestial V70, but the little boats back up off the east coast of New South Wales really did get clobbered. So it was a tough race also.
And also one of the international competitors is Bacchanal. This is a 38-footer. Tom Barker, CYCA director, is the navigator, and last year they had an issue with their boom. Their boom broke. A brand new boat. It was christened just 4 days before the start of the race. So let's hear now from Evie with this outstanding performer from the United States.
A little bit unlucky last year's race, but you've reminded the crew of it this year. If you can give us a turn to show that all the team has unfinished business on their back of the shirt. What do you want to achieve this year?
Well, first and foremost is to finish. I mean, come all the way out here from America to come race on your own boat, which was, again, built here in Australia. But we want to finish. But I think we've done pretty well in the blue water. I think right now we're first in Division 2 in the blue water and second overall, and we'd like to podium on those. And then, weather God's willing, we'll do well in the overall Sydney Hobart as well.
Yeah. So a little bit unlucky last year with the equipment, but have you changed anything else on the boat this year?
Well, it's been given us more months to refine the boat. So we haven't really, other than adding a pie oven, which we think is our secret weapon to success on this, because nothing beats a warm pie at 2 a.m. while you're sitting on the rail. Other than that, we've just been improving the boat. We sailed all the way up to Mackay, did Hamilton Island. We've spent almost 3,000 miles on the boat this year, sailing it, figuring out what works, what doesn't work, and slowly improving it.
Sounds like you've made some good improvements on the boat this year, and hopefully we see you down in Hobart.
That would be great. I would like to see Hobart from the sea.
Yes, Ron Epstein, a retired attorney from San Francisco. what a commitment. He's made about 8 different flights out to Australia this year to make sure that Bacchanal is ready, and this is the sort of boat that can really come through and take the major prize.
Well, we're awarded at the moment. They're 7th overall. They're leading their division, Division 4 IRC, just over 300 miles to go. So they're past halfway and in good shape certainly for divisional honours in the handicap.
Tell us about this particular design, Peter, because it's been successful internationally.
Yeah, JPK is the design, and it designs a number of boats of different sizes. Jean-Pierre Galbert is the designer. His initials. JPK.
Very good French pronunciation.
Yeah, I thought
a huge
like
improvement on this morning.
I thought you'd like that. But he is a yachtsman himself. But these JPKs are very prevalent throughout Europe. In France, where there's short-handed sailing, very prominent. A boat of his design won the Fastnet race this year, and he was aboard the JPK boat that won Lyon, and he was with Alexis Lawson, who's now racing on Min River.
Oh, gee, he's going well.
Yeah, and another JPK with Alex aboard with his father in 2013, a JPK smaller boat at 1010. They won the Fastnet outright as well. So they're a very prominent design and been a very successful design.
So just summing up what Peter said there, you mentioned Min River, and you've got Alexis Loison, as you say, one of the top two-handed entries. The two-handed, the double-handed is going to be a real cliffhanger, I think, but certainly Min River is right in the firing line. Jiang Lin and also Alexis Loison, who, as Peter mentioned, has won the Fastnet race double-handed twice.
No, outright, and as double-hander. So
yeah,
it's been an outright victory.
That's what I was saying. Won the race twice as a two-handed entry, but winning overall as well twice. So fantastic effort by Min River. So let's now meet the two co-skippers.
I'm aboard Min River with Gian and Alex, who are a new pairing, have done a total of 72 offshore hours together before this year's 80th Rolex Sydney and Hobart Yacht Race. Gian, you've done quite a few Hobarts already yourself, winning the 2024 Offshore Sailor of the Year for the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia. How does it feel to be back in the race this year?
Excited.
And do you have aspirations for your new partnership with Alex for this year's yacht race?
I just want to learn as much as I can from Alexi because he's really experienced, and so for me, I'm very happy about that.
Alex has done, this will be his 6th Rolex Sydney Hobart, but also winner of IRC this year in the Fastnet race as well. Alex, how do you feel coming onto a double-handed boat after being on some big boats this year?
That will be very nice. I love two-handed division. I prefer to sail two-handed, so really happy to sail with Zhang and with this beautiful boat. And we want to sail well. And yes, and my job is to learn to Zhang all I can do.
Alex, being French, Jan, Chinese, English second language. How does it go with the communication on board?
We manage okay.
I think it will be okay. I think sometimes it's sailing, it's universal language. So I try to make some progress in English, but I think that will be okay. For the moment, when we sail for training, that is okay.
Yes, Jiang Lin ran her own promotions business in London. She came out to Australia, Peter, about 10 years ago and was staying on Sydney Harbour and said, all this beautiful sunshine and all these sailboats, I want to do this. And she's done all of the sailing courses, she's done all of the safety courses, and now she is sailing with the best in the world as a double-hander. And it's been a fantastic story for her.
Yes, she's performing creditably as well. She's 3rd in the double-handed IRC division. Line honours, she's 49th, she's 25th overall, over just about 360 miles to go to the finish.
Well, she was around boats, her grandparents' boat, as a youngster, so she's always been around boats. And the background of the name, Min River, it's a river on the southeast coast of China. And her brother, Jiang Hua, was actually born on the grandparents' boat. So she wasn't around at that stage, but yeah, she loves her sailing, and she is right in contention for the double-handed at the moment. And talking of those international entries, we've covered a few here today. There are 5 Kiwi entries started the race. A couple of those Kiwi boats have retired, but here's one of the 3 still remaining.
I'm here with 5 of the 11 crew from Rum Bucket, Quinton from Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron. Can you tell me about how you bought the boat and brought it to the Southern Hemisphere from Europe in 2017?
Yes, I had the boat built up in Croatia, and we all, most of my New Zealand crew went up there to help me sail it back. And we got to the Gran Canaria Islands and we raced across in the Atlantic to the Caribbean. Fantastic race, you know, if anybody gets a chance to do it, you've got to do it. It was really good fun. And then after that we went back up there again after Christmas to sail it into and through the Panama and of course across the Galapagos and eventually home, but unfortunately we got cut down by COVID. So we got to the Panama Canal and we got locked up in the Panama Canal, and then they were shutting the airport and we had this major panic to get off the boat, and we caught the last plane out of the Panama Canal the day they shut the airport in the Panama. And so eventually we decided, we've got to ship it because we couldn't get back up there. So then we put it on the back of a boat shipping boat, and it went up the west coast of America there and Mexico, and the main ship got busted for drugs, and our boat got locked up on the back of the ship, along with a boat that Scott was actually captaining. His boat that he was looking after also was locked up on that boat. So eventually we got the boat a year later. The Mexicans managed to let them release the cargo, and a year later we got the boat down into Auckland.
Really, you're all here for this race, 7 years on, for the 80th Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race. What does it mean, Andy, navigator, to be competitive here with the boat finally in the Southern Hemisphere?
Yeah, it was a good sail over, and I think most of the crew have sailed together all year, and we're here to have a go.
You have quite an interesting name. Maybe we can hear a little bit about how did we come up with this name, Andrew?
Well, the Quinton's previous boat was called Outrageous Fortune, and being from West Auckland, the crew quite like to drink rum. And so we've got a bucket that's specifically for drinking rum from, and we engrave all the races that we win on the bucket. So if you want a measure of our competitiveness, look at all these.
Yes, well, in the first race, it was compulsory to have a bottle of Bean Lee rum, so that's very appropriate for Rum Bucket. But as we keep telling you in each of our live streams from the race Philly, there's a very important race starting in February, an innovation for the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia.
This February, the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia debuts a bold new offshore challenge, the Trans-Tasman Race. Beginning on the 27th of February, the race across the ditch begins with a staggered start on Sydney Harbour. The cannon fires in pursuit style, with yachts starting the race over 3 days. Competitors will then round the northern tip of New Zealand to finish together in Auckland at the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron, home of the America's Cup. Competitors will celebrate in style in the City of Sails. Entries close 9th of January 2026. Be part of the Trans-Tasman Yacht Race as a new ocean classic begins.
And we've already heard that the entries close on January 9, so hopefully we'll get some more international entries and some of the Rolex Sydney Hobart entries. Rum Bucket, by the way, 28th on line honours at the moment. But let's now cross to Evie. Evie is down near the Iron Pot, repeating that Master Lock Comanche, Law Connect and also Scallywag and now Lucky are around Tasman Island and into Storm Bay. But what are the conditions like, Evie, where you are situated at the moment?
We're on the River Derwent, Gordon, and we've got a beautiful 10 to 14 knots. It's fantastic sailing conditions. We're back with the southeasterly breeze, southeasterly swell, but wind against tide, so a little bit of chop as well. It is fantastic sailing conditions for Comanche to come in, but Lawconnect is not that far behind, only at 4.5 nautical miles behind, which means I imagine Comanche is trying to get full steam ahead to make sure that Lawconnect isn't able to close that gap, and Scallywag just trailing them as well. And if they can extend before the breeze drops tonight, hopefully they'll cross the finish line without repeating events of 2023.
Okay, fantastic work there, Evie. It's looking a little choppy where you are, but Peter Shipway, if we can have a quick look now, very quick look at the tracker to see exactly where they are. And we will see that Masterlock Comanche is around Cape Raoul.
Yep, there they are. They've taken a bit of a dog leg there. It was straight travelling almost to the Raoul, and then she stepped out a little bit to get away from the lee there. I would envisage a bit of a lee there. And Lawconnect's coming straight across, and you can see Lucky's around also, as well as SHK Scallywag. So making good time at the moment, with about 28 miles still to go.
And Palm Beach 11 still to come round Tasman Island. So yeah, we're here at the finishing line, and there's still plenty of breeze here, so it's looking very good. But the situation is that Masterlock Comanche, Lawconnect, Scallywag, 1, 2, 3 at the moment. Lucky, the 88-footer from the United States of America, has done a marvellous job with an outstanding crew, a lot of Kiwis on board. And then there is Palm Beach 11 still trying to get down to Tasman Island.
Not too many passing lanes at the moment with this breeze. That's the problem the second, third and fourth boats have. They can't get much past her unless the breeze completely collapses. But here's good breeze here.
And we can
bay.
see Masterlock Comanche there. Can you peel your eyes, Peter?
Way in the distance.
Way in the distance.
Look at that breeze. There's plenty of it coming around. That looks like the southeast, as Evie said, so that'll be a tight reach across the bay here, and she will be at the Derwent River very, very shortly if this breeze holds, and it looks for the moment it is, and then there's good breeze in the river. So we're only probably maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours away from a finish here in Hobart.
Yeah, well, that's very exciting. Masterlock Comanche holding the trump cards at the moment, ahead of Lawconnect, and Scallywag chasing hard. They're not that far astern, and Lucky is in fourth place with Palm Beach 11 closing on Tasman Island. Time now to salute, though, one of our very important partners here for the 80th edition of the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race. And Pete, you're just looking at the tracker at the moment. Tell me, what speed is Masterlock Comanche doing?
She's doing about 14 knots at the moment, but you can see there that the real update is it's good speed, and she's laying straight into the River Derwent.
Looking at that little rectangle box, you can see the little flag says 29 nautical miles. Mm-hmm. 29 nautical miles to go to the finish. So the last leg will be 11 miles from the Iron Pot to Castray Esplanade, and she's doing 14 knots at the moment. So these are dream conditions for Masterlock Comanche.
Here she is. There she is, live shots. On her way to victory, you would have to say, at this stage with not much of the race left. What perfect conditions to finish in. It's going to be a terrific reception here. The sun's out. Full-on sunshine here in Hobart, and this is going to be a terrific reception that Masterlock Comanche will get when they pull into the dock just behind us. I think that unless something untoward happens with the wind or something breaks on the boat, I think she's almost assured of victory.
Okay, well, there's the conditions here at King's Pier, and you can see that breeze is still piping in very nicely. That's the investigator, the CSIRO vessel in the background, which is right on the finishing line at Castres Esplanade. So very exciting news for Master Lock Comanche. Line Honours victor in 2015, 17, 19 and 22, pipped by Law Connect in 2023. Law Connect, the defending Line Honours champion for the last 2 years. And a quick look at the Line Honours graphic now, just to recap the top boats, where they're standing at the moment. And we see that it's confirmed. Lucky in 4th place, Palm Beach 11. Then Celestial V70, the overall winner last year, No Limit, Callisto from New Zealand, Smuggler and Aragon. Peter, we're going to sign off.
Just before we do good, it might be worth mentioning Celestial V70, a clear leader on IRC corrected time for the overall trophy, looking very much as like they could defend their title. Lucky has moved into 2nd place. SHK Scallywag is 3rd, Law Connect 4, Master Lock Comanche 5. So all the big boys are getting a real look in at the moment on the handicap prize, but the little boats still out there, a long way to go, but they're getting breeze to bring them home. So at the moment, Celestial V70 in the box seat.
Well, that's just fantastic. Thank you very much for that update, Peter, because they were back in 3rd place in the report this morning. So Celestial V70, as Peter Shipway has just told you, is leading on IRC, the overall prize, which is what the race is all about. But we're going to be back for the live coverage of the finish of this year's race. So we're going to sign off for the time being, Peter.
Yeah,
You'll have plenty more to say as the big boats come in.
It won't be long before we're back, that's
very
for sure.
Exciting, yeah. So hang in there as we sign off. That's Master Lock Comanche in Storm Bay and closing on the Iron Pot for the final stretch in the Derwent River to Castres Esplanade. See you very shortly.
This has been a Hype production.